can do it.
Sorry. Oh, a lot of slogans to keep. Heard of it? My orientation aether wave showed that famous Saltuna cannery, which I'm sure smell.
That's true.
That's just big. So, what can I have a look?
I'm not going. You can't keep me out of there.
Please don't make a scene, Dr. Fenhill.
I'm sorry. Am I causing a scene? See, Furu? Let me get one thing straight. Jessie and I are not friends. I just owe her, okay? As for the rest, I'm trying to figure that out. All I know is that she's been here too long. You say that like it's weird. Like I said, Jessie did me a favor. I just don't like to leave a debt unpaid, that's all. Be my guest. Can't say I've seen you before. If you're here to better yourself, you'll have to wait. He must be referring to Irion. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm ever gonna get my service mechanicals at this rate. I'd be grateful if you'd spare the time. Last he told me, you look out.
What do you think you're doing? Carry on.
You're sure this is perfectly safe? I'd rather not die early of an infectious disease.
To the last rat to the... You hull-headed quack. What? I'm just terrible. Should have known she'd say... All right. Seems like...
The truth is, I'm not sick. But if you repeat what I'm about to tell you to anyone, I will deny it with my dying breath. You, ain't with the board, are you? See, I owe them a lot. I might have missed a payment or two, and the other night I swear someone was following me back to my room. Oh, laws. Wait, don't gut me and skin me yet. Please, talk to Bedford. Tell him I can pay, a part of it, and I'm a useful person to know. Just ask Ellie. Surely you wouldn't drag me before him. I'm dreadful. What? No, I didn't do anything. I'm a law-abiding denizen of this ship, I swear. You'd let a poor, ill woman get disappeared by the board? Awfully cold. All right, I'll fess this part up too. If it means 3 weeks back, I caught rumor that the blood-tier diamond, last worn by an heiress on the Lost Hope, had surfaced for the first time in 70 years. If I had, you think I'd be hiding out in the med bay? I was gonna steal it, lined up Udom as my buyer. He paid half up front to finance the operation. Let's just say things went sideways about the time I got my hands on the diamond, and it crumbled to stardust in my palm. Anywho, I barely made it out with my life, and nary a plan to make back Udom's deposit I'd spent. Udom Bedford's the board guy on this. Thanks for help. Or I guess...
What do you think you're doing? I don't want any...
Any word on Jesse? Good luck. The board's got an office on the promenade just before engineering. You can't miss it.
On Terra 1? Last I heard, the board was in...
Rizzo's lemon pie. You're going family tonight.
You're a deft hand. Nicely done.
What do you think you're doing? Keep your hands to yourself.
Not a peep from here. Great work.
There it is. Just yank the drive and I'll... Now that we... have the data cartridge, I can finally find out where that scholar I'm looking for ended up. Got it. His name... I should have guessed. What be... Oh, it's nothing. I admit it was a bit of a long...
Strawberry Crunch. Triple gel flake. Strawberry flavored power nugget. Now with 12%.
Go back to Byzantium, you gold-plated bastard.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hang in the back and try not to touch anything.
You'd think the...
Ah, yes. Wheeler messaged me you were coming. He must be the captain of the Unreliable, a vessel that used to be helmed by one Alex Hawthorne. And you are not he. Has something happened to my favorite scruffy freelancer? There's no need for hysterics. This is all a hilarious misunderstanding. I impounded Alex's ship, not yours. Well, I guess it's yours now if you're captaining it. It's a game we play, he and I. I ask him to turn in Phineas Wells, he tells me he will soon. I impound his ship, he explains why he can't give me the info right now. I ask him to turn in Wells. Around and around we go. Right, you're going important. There, I've removed the flag from your ship. I'm terribly sorry for the inconvenience. However, before you go, Alex promised to tell me the location of Phineas Wells. I'm sure you've seen his... Well, Alex knew, or he said he did. And you have his ship. That's... Well, oh, I'm sorry. This is terribly unprofessional of me. Is there anything else I might... It's personal business, I'm afraid. Information on the whereabouts of Phineas Wells would go a long way. Well, it's fine, really. Now, if you've nothing else, Miss Doyle owes the board a significant sum. Alas, the only collateral she has is her organs. Compulsory donation is quite legal in such cases. That's not unreasonable.
I guess it's better than losing your organs, but... I don't know, Captain. It just doesn't seem right.
Miss Doyle is deeply in debt, and the board has every right to do whatever they like to recoup that debt. What guarantee do I have that she'll agree to the terms you negotiate? You might be surprised. But we'll proceed on the assumption she'll be reasonable. I will recall my collection agent. Tell Miss Doyle to report to me promptly for her first assignment. Now, is there anything else you need, or be my guest? I'm the certified representative of the board's interests here on the ground. I have few complaints.
Law, but it's miserable. My underarms... Chief Tennyson is supposedly looking into deplorable conduct. My superiors will be hearing about it. You can be certain of that. Oh, you've noticed my friends. They're here to keep the peace, of course. Precisely. Groundbreaker makes much ado about its independent status and so resents any board presence, no matter how benign. When the alternative is board guards at their gates, yes. A luxury stateroom, reserved for Chairman Rockwell's use. Ask away.
Wish I could say it was good to see you, Ellie. Got word from Udom, from the hitman who trailed me the other night. Seems I'm indentured to the board now. I ain't too elated about going exclusive, but it's better than winding up dead. You sure saved my skin, stranger. All debts between me and Ellie are cleared.
The good news came through the wireless. Looks like you paid my debt to Jesse. I guess that means I owe you now, right? Tell you what, I'm a little short on bits at the moment, but I'm a decent scrapper and a better-than-average sawbones. If you're looking for a medic, I can work my... If I'm being honest, and I prefer not to, I was about ready to pick up another contract anyway, and you settled this in a pretty tidy fashion. But we can say I'm repaying the favor if you prefer that version. You won't be sorry. Though it looks like you've got a full roster all...
Dr. Fenhill, glad you opted to join us. It'll be good to have a...
Miss Ellie, Dr. Finhope. I noticed your pistol's been making a funny noise.
What are you talking about? I oil it every night.
Well, look here. Your slide's not recoiling fully? You might be due for a new spring. I could take a look, maybe fix it for you.
Sure. I'm short on bits at the moment, but I'll pay you back.
Oh, no. I mean, it don't cost nothing. I got a spare spring in my pocket here, even.
Everything's got a price.
We interrupt your regular list. Scheduled advertisement for the... Following story. I'd like to remind spacers and other travelers that passage to Monarch is restricted. For your protection. Canyons of acid and sulfur.
Bless my heart. A stranger come knocking on a poor old woman's door. You here for a particular reason? Or did the Nick... I've got a lovely little... It's almost time for today's episode of The Chairman's Children. Care to listen with me? Those have been the height of illegality since Stellar Bay turned their noses up at the board. You and I could be thrown to the void, just lucky for us, Groundbreaker's a free port. Now, I only have the one nav key, and they're hard to come by these days. It won't be cheap. If you find her, well, I find I'm in need of a ship captain with a little moral flexibility. Might be this could help out the Groundbreaker, as well as earn some bits. Do you know Edna, over in engineering? Sweet as a pea, that. She sent me a recording of a distress. Curious thing is, it came from an outpost called Roseway. And Auntie Cleo abandoned that place years ago. Can't say I know for sure. Maybe it never really was.
Wonder what kind of haul they...
Comm centers don't operate themselves, Captain.
Those corps are cleverer than all get out. You've got an ear for intrigue and a nose for bits. If you should find his... The more we got the corps fighting each other, the less time... Don't forget to come find old Gladys when you're done. Might want to acquaint yourself with Junlei Tennyson. You'll find her fretting in engineering. I'd say she... Yes, dearie? Take that darling ship of yours down to Roseway, where that distress signal... Shouldn't be too tough for a fella like you, What do you want, then? My hard-earned wisdom? Groundbreakers radiators. The board can't abide a community that won't bend to its will. They've always got one scheme or another running, looking for ways to bring us to heel. Like this heat business. Shit, but it won't work. No, sir. Groundbreaker's free till the day she dies, law willing. Anytime.
Ooh, can we rent an upstairs room?
We'll talk later. Got a bit of a sore throat from all that fake coffee.
CNP worst worst. It's not the worst unless it's worst worst.
If you're hungry, they're terrified. Fresh from the grind.
You look like someone who's taking their... We also have a line of...
is housed...
Those XF411s? And an old... Key to 37... You think they'd let me... peek at the power plant?
Remember,
Is it just me, or is it hot in here? Junlei's gotta be having a... hotter than usual in here. Hope we're not catching Junlei on a bad day.
I could spend all day in here and not have looked at half the best stuff. It's all pretty worn, though.
Junlei Tennyson. I'm captain around here, but chief to my friends. Hope you don't mind the form. Good for you. Hope you scared some sense into those bureaucrats giving you trouble. Just so we understand each other, I'm the final word on the ship. The Mardits, the crew, the engineers, their family. I hope there won't be any problems while you're visiting. Good. Don't go making trouble, and chances are you won't find any. That's how I like it here. So what brings you to Groundbreaker? I'm curious, even though 9 times out of 10 the answer's just passing through. Interesting. The powers that be paint an ugly picture of Monarch. Critters and such. Maybe someone in the promenade can get you the right weapon for the job. We see a lot of the same faces coming and going. Most of them board spies and corporate sprats. Makes it hard to trust outsiders. You seem different, so welcome aboard. Dr. Fenhill, I hope you've reconsidered my offer to stay on full-time. My crew are never short on dents and bruises.
I'm trying to live a more balanced life. Gun in one hand, scalpel in the other.
I already knew it'd be easier to teach an automech heart surgery than to change your mind. Fair travels, Ellie.
Groundbreaker's a small town in a big ship, and anyone who spends any time here gets to know Junlei.
We don't see a lot of competent surgeons on Groundbreaker. Dr. Fenhill is my on-again, off-again freelancer. I take it she'll be joining...
I don't like to put a label on things.
If you ever decide to settle down, there's a home for...
What? I didn't think you just...
Parvati, is it? That's a lovely name. What can I do for you?
I was just thinking, I haven't got much experience working with actual, real spaceships, Miss Junlei. Chief Junlei.
Junlei is fine.
Okay. Since you run a whole space station, I was wondering if... well, maybe you could teach me some things. I could message you later, maybe?
I'd be happy to make the time, Parvati. You can ask me anything.
Wow, great! I'll do that then. Messages. Later. Oh, your name's pretty too. I should have said Sorry. I like it. Honest. Sorry. Couldn't have done it without your moral support.
Now, if there's nothing else, there are other parts of the ship begging. Groundbreaker's radiators need replacement parts. They're dumping superheated air into my ship. Only the board has access to new parts, and I won't let them swindle me into a corner. None. Every time I give in to the board, Groundbreaker loses its freedom. Soon there won't be anything left. I can't allow that. The board isn't helping, and my resources are spread thin. If I don't get those radiators back online, Groundbreaker, everyone aboard, will be cooked alive. Reasonable, huh? That's the best news I've heard all day. According to my grandmother's old schematics, the parts we need should be in the back bays. Hold on. There's something you should know before you go charging off. The back bays are on a lower deck, long abandoned and a haven for miscreants now. Those idiots are immune to reason, and they don't much care if the station melts to pieces. They're content. If you could find some way to solve this without violence, I'd prefer that. But more than anything, we need those parts. Good. What can I do? Frustrating. Plus, there's no time to train my successor or document. Sure is. The Tennysons came over on the Groundbreaker. My grandmother, Chief Gang, kept it together during the crossing and until she died. I was promoted only recently, when my mom died. Then I took the leap from chief engineer to captain.
They must have been amazing people to have taught you all you know, I mean, which is a lot.
That means a lot coming from a fellow engineer.